June 2000 here, coming at you with a reaction of another WWE Royal Rumble, but this is the WWF Royal Rumble. It's one of the least voted worst Royal Rumbles that I had the community post. It's the 1999 Royal Rumble match. Back when they were WCW. I mean WWF, my mistake. Watching it on the Best of Attitude Era Royal Rumble DVD. Yeah, pretty badass DVD. January 24th, 1999. We're gonna party like it's 1999. But the match is pretty. It's not. It's a mess. The reason I put it in the list because a lot of people get. There's a lot of pretty talented people that get too much illuminated, and it's overbooked as fuck. But to me, this is more entertaining than what the hell they're doing the current shit. But I really like them. I like the WWF logo better than the WWE logo in my opinion. Because this one involves Austin and McMahon in their famous rivalry. McMahon and Austin kicking each other's asses. The commentators on this one is Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole. JR was absent in this time because he had to recover from his cerebral palsy, and they made him a fucking heel when he came back, having an issue about his cerebral palsy, and WWE giving him not good shit to work on. But yeah, the first number one entrant is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Back when he was the toughest SOB in the WWF. Austin is one badass motherfucker, in my opinion. Nobody. It's cool that you see everybody doing the middle finger. They're not censored and shit in the crowd. I miss that shit where you didn't have to deal with fucking annoying chants. You got middle fingers, kick-ass signs that are made by fans, and just everything was great about this shit. I miss wrestling like this. And of course, this is the Attitude Era, which I do like the Attitude Era. I like the New Generation Era. The Golden Age is a badass era. And the Ruthless Aggression was the era I grew up in. And that was another era that's pretty badass, like the Golden Age era. But when it got to PG, it kind of fucking sucked. And then when it got to major PG, which is not PG anymore, but boring ass wrestling now. I hate wrestling now. But yeah, number two is Mr. Vince McMahon, and he's kind of fucked over now in the news. He's kind of getting cancel culture too, which is kind of fucking not surprising because he did got away with a lot of shit. Even with that incident that he had with Rita Chatterson, the one that he had that she accused him about sexual assault. And there were some incidents that McMahon had with other females, and especially in the news, he got in trouble with someone accusing him of sex trafficking, which is kind of oh shit. He's kind of getting cancel culture like they did with R. Kelly and Jeffrey Epstein. Holy fucking shit. But yeah, Mr. McMahon, he's like Mystique in this number two entrant. This is like the first time everybody saw him without his shirt. You can tell he's jacked up with fucking steroids. But Stone Cold's stomping a mud hole up his ass and walk you dry. See, you see the crowd is into this fucking match. They're into this because back then, you were into the shit. It wasn't like, oh, it's just fucking boring shit. No, it was fun. Even though because I'm already starting to look at the Attitude Era stuff and the New Generation stuff, and also the Golden Age. I'm starting looking at the old pay-per-views, and holy shit, they were great. Even the Raw episodes and the old SmackDown episodes were pretty good too. Because I never got to see those episodes because I only got to see wrestling when it was WWE and it was the Ruthless Aggression Era, which I like the Ruthless Aggression Era because they had badass matches and even really bloodfest feuds that were really brutal and kick ass, take no names like a motherfucker. Yeah. Stone Cold's like teasing, I'm gonna toss Vince's ass out of the ring. Oh shit. He made the mistake not eliminating him. Now there's the clock. Golga from the Oddities is number 3. I like the crowd. They're going like this. The front people are going like this, waving their arms with the music. That's pretty funny. Golga should have just waited outside. He should have done the smart move, but he just gets in there and attacks Stone Cold. He should have just waited for the next entrant. Now he wants the $1,000. Stone Cold just tossed Golga out in like 10 seconds. And Golga was wearing a big Cartman t-shirt. Yeah, Cartman from South Park. That's when they were big back in the day when South Park was starting. I like South Park, even though I don't give a shit about the new shit nowadays with South Park. I still like the show. Yeah. But if you guys wonder who the hell Golga is, he's Earthquake. You know the wrestler Earthquake, the one with the big blue. He had the blue singlet, and he was that big, fat wrestler that was he had a feud with Hulk Hogan and also Jake the Snake Roberts. He was the one that infamously killed Damien in the middle of the ring, where he just sat on the bag and killed Damien. But yeah, that's Earthquake. He's Golga in WWF because the reason how he had him in that gimmick, because he was in the Oddities with Kurgan and the Giant Silva, and then they had ICP singing with their group. They were singing their theme song, and then Luna Vachon was one of their members too. But yeah, Golga, that's actually Earthquake. They were gonna bring him back as Earthquake, but he kind of lost a lot of weight, so they just decided to put him in this oddity gimmick where he's wearing a mask, and they said like, oh, he has like these tumorous bumps, like the reason he's like a monster and stuff. But they were first as heels, but the crowd was starting to like them, so they turned them into baby faces, and they have ICP singing to them entrance, which was pretty cool. But Golga would also bring this big giant plush Cartman toy and swinging it around with the crowd waving their hands, and he's like waving it with the toy, the Cartman doll. But yeah, the next entrant was Draws, and he's waiting in the entrance because McMahon and Stone Cold just brawling went into the crowd, and they brawled into the women's bathroom, and the corporation beat the shit out of Stone Cold with an attack. But yeah, Draws. He was with Legion of Doom around this time. And then the next entrant is Edge, who just started now. He's starting to have a match with Draws, because Draws was by himself for a while. But yeah, it's sad what happened to Draws, and he's a wrestler that his career cut short, and it's very sad. If you guys know who it is, it's his name is Darren Drossoff. He was like, I forgot what team he played, a football team, but it was like a famous. But I think it was like like how Goldberg. I think he played like a famous NFL team, like how Goldberg played an NFL team too. He, but yeah, Draws. He was in WWF when he first started off as Puke. Everybody knows Puke is the one with McMahon has that meme where he goes, "He's gonna puke, he's gonna puke," and that's why he got the name Puke first. And then he became Darren Draws when he teamed up with the Road Warriors, and then that shitty storyline where one of the was Road Warrior Hawk is like dealing with alcoholism. That was fucking stupid. And yeah, but Draws would go on and be solo until he would team up with Prince Albert, who would become A-Train. But they would team up and they would have like this gimmick where they like to puke and they like to enjoy piercing people with needles and tattooing and all that shit. Like some of that shit out of Steve Snyder's Strangeland. But sadly, in late 1999, him and Draws and D'Lo Brown would have a match, and D'Lo Brown messed up on a move, and it was an accident. And that move, which I think was like kind of like a similar to like a power driver that Owen Hart gave to Stone Cold, and at least another that botched power driver move off the rope left Draws spineless and damaged in his spine. Like his neck and his spine was fucked up. There's no footage of it. They say it exists, but nobody has not released the footage. The only footage that has the part of it where they're it's just they're stretching him out is during like the do not do this at home segments. It's only like 5 seconds of them like pushing the stretcher on that was it they put Draws on and they're lifting him up to like take him out of the ring and stuff. That's the only footage that exists about that incident. In those, please do not try this at home promo ads before the DVD was started. But yeah, that footage never been shown. But he legit got his career ended really short. It really fucked up D'Lo Brown a lot. But I felt bad for D'Lo Brown. Like it wasn't his fault. He even apologized to Draws about it. Like it really fucked him up. It's like how Michael Massey, when he shot Brandon Lee and Brandon Lee died from it, it fucked him up a lot. But sadly, Draws would retire from it and be in a wheelchair for a long time, which is so sad. It's kind of sad seeing him right now, like in a wrestling ring, because he's like standing up right there, but he wasn't standing. But months later in that year, 1999, he would not be standing up. He would be in a wheelchair. That's fucking sad. And he sadly passed away last year. Like rest in peace, Darren Draws. But yeah, Draws and Edge have been fighting. The next entrant was Gilbert, who was Dwayne Gill, an infamous jobber. He was like pretty much parodying Goldberg from WCW. He got eliminated real quick by Edge. He didn't even last that long. He lasted like 7 seconds. And yeah, the next entrant is Steve motherfucking Blackman, the Lethal Weapon. I think Steve Blackman is one badass motherfucker. He was like a martial art wrestler that they didn't really utilize him that well. They thought he was just boring, and they had him do this stupid storyline with he had this stupid storyline with Al Snow where he wanted to do head cheese and all that shit with that shitty tag team. But that didn't work. He was always mid-card, and he had a badass story with Shane McMahon and against the hardcore title. It was a very badass match at SummerSlam 2000. And this is another badass motherfucker. Dan Severn. Dan the Beast Severn. He even has a badass theme song. Boom! The Beast just speared black men. Yeah, Dan Severn, he kind of resembles a bit because everybody says that like, oh, he's like the UFC fighter of Freddie Mercury, where he kind of looks like Freddie Mercury a bit with the mustache and the hair look. But yeah, Dan Severn, he was involved in that NWA storyline where they were invading. NWA wrestling was invading WWF, but that storyline sucked, and they didn't really utilize that storyline that well because they were involving like NWA wrestlers like Double D, Jeff Jarrett. Who else was it? The Rock and Roll Express. And of course, Dan Severn would join in the feud later. They didn't utilize Dan Severn that well, but it sucks that him and Steve Blackman and also Ken Shamrock didn't have a feud. But those are two badass motherfuckers. But Dan Severn is a former UFC fighter like Ken Shamrock. Of course, they're stretching Stone Cold out after he got an ambush attack by the corporation. Because McMahon is a chicken shit. He doesn't want to fight Stone Cold by himself. So he got some help in the women's bathroom where they beat him up at. Now they've taken him out of the ambulance. Taken him to the hospital. The next entrant was Tigress Ali Singh. I don't really remember Tiger Ali Singh that much. The only thing I remember about him was that on those Raw segments, he would have like these, like he would kind of like try to be like a rip-off version of $1 Million Man, where he tries to have people do all this disgusting shit, licking licking Babu's nasty rotten feet, having some lady eat dog food, having some young girl kiss Babu's nasty mouth with full of sardines in his mouth, and he would give him like a lot of them like $500 or $10 or some shit, kind of like ripping off $1 Million Man. But it was kind of a goofy storyline, but whatever, it was funny. I like the look of this WWF pay-per-view. Next entrant is Blue Meanie. I always liked Blue Meanie. I always thought he was underrated. He legit lost a lot of weight during like the mid 90s, like the late 90s to the 2000s. He lost a lot of weight because he kind of has a bit of a belly here. Like he's kind of like a bit overweight a little bit, but he lost weight that year. But Blue Meanie, he was known in ECW with teaming up with Stevie Richards, and they would have the BWO, which is like a parody of NWO. It was pretty funny. But he would go to WWF and he would have like a weird storyline with Goldust, which was kind of like strange, and it kind of didn't really got fixed that well. And they involved, was it Ken Shamrock's sister, Ryan Shamrock, which was weird because Ryan Shamrock was dating Ken Shamrock, and that was his girlfriend. But in storyline, she's playing his sister, like, which is kind of weird. But Blue Meanie, he would have like a legit fight with JBL, where JBL just punched him on the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view. Shows you that JBL's a piece of shit bully person. But he got his fucking comeuppance by Stevie Richards with that big giant chair shot to the head, like a sweet comeback vengeance on that SmackDown show. Yeah, that next entrant was supposed to be Mosh from the Headbangers, but Mabel, stole his entrance and knocked him out in the back. Of course, Mabel's known as different names in wrestling. He's known as Mabel, King Mabel, when he had that shitty King of the Ring victory, and everybody hated him for winning the King of the Ring. Of course, he was okay. They got, and also Mabel would be the Viscera in WWF when he joins the Ministry of Darkness, and then he would become the big love machine, where he hunts everybody in his matches. And then he would become Big Daddy V, where he does the V symbol. Big Daddy V. Like a Spock symbol from Star Trek. Mabel just eliminated Steve Blackman and Dash Severin, like 2 wrestlers already. Like that big motherfucker just eliminated. Now he just eliminated 3 wrestlers and 4 wrestlers. He eliminated Blue Meanie and Tiger Ali Singh. So like Mabel's dominating in this match. Like he's one big motherfucker, but he is kicking ass. Like he's throwing a lot of people out, even though he stole Mosh's entrance number. He's utilized that well. Now the next entrance was Road Dogg, and holy shit, he eliminated Edge. But now the entrance was Road Dogg, and Road Dogg's a pretty good wrestler, even though some people say he's a dick. He may be a dick, but I don't mind Road Dogg. And now Mabel's getting his ass kicked by the Ministry of Darkness. The Acolytes, which is Farouk, and Branshaw, which is JBL, and Median, who was known as Phineas Godwin. And of course, Farouk is Ron Simmons from WCW. There's Paul Bearer, rest in peace, Paul Bearer. And there's Undertaker with his dark robe as the Minister of Darkness leader, where he looks like the devil, Pazuzu, with his eyes rolled back. And also rest in peace Mabel too. He passed away back in 2014 as well. Of course, a lot of wrestlers got eliminated, so now the one wrestler that's by himself is Road Dogg. They're kicking the shit out of Mabel. Like, holy shit. Now we got the next entrance, and we'll see who this entrance. I like how these entrances are just like neutral, like you don't know who's coming out. It makes it really special. The Gangrel, that's another one that's underrated. I like how the fans in the front are like dancing to the music like this. Like they kind of match up with the beat of the music. It's pretty funny and badass. But Gangrel's another wrestler that's pretty underrated. He resembles a vampire, where he has like these big fang, which you thought that they're fake teeth, but they're actually his real teeth. He looks like a vampire for reals, which is badass. Of course, he would go on to start the Brood, with Edge and Christian. They would dress like outfits like, and they would look like Lost Boys meets Interview with the Vampire. That's how the Brood is. It's pretty much like the Lost Boys meets Interview with the Vampire. Road Dogg is now alone again. Now another oddity member, and it's Kurgan. That is one big son of a bitch right there. And then he's kicking Road Dogg's ass. And you guys know who Kurgan is. He's in a lot of movies. He's a wrestler that's in a lot of movies. Like like how every wrestlers in WWE that are in WWE, they're in movies now. Nobody doesn't realize this wrestler Kurgan, he's in a lot of movies. He was in the Sherlock Holmes movies, one with Robert Downey Jr. Those ones, he appeared in that. He was the big fucking monster in Zack Snyder's 300. And he also appeared in this movie called Polar, which was like a brutal Netflix movie, like Netflix version of the John Wick, but he appears as a bad guy in that movie. Very bloody film, Polar. And yeah, but Kurgan, I'm not sure what other movies that Kurgan appeared in, but he appeared in like those are like high profile movies, especially like the Sherlock Holmes movies. Those are Warner Brother movies. Like holy shit! And even the 300 film is a Warner Brother film. Like he's an actor that he's like an actor now. Now we got Al Snow as the next entrance. What do you want? What does everybody need? Head. I like when he has the head and he goes like do. Al Snow's like this crazy ass dude that is insane and crazy as hell. But Al Snow, he would have like a feud with Road Dogg for the hardcore title, and even Hardcore Holly as well. They want to double team and throw out Kurgan. Yeah, Kurgan is one big ass. Kurgan is one big ass motherfucking mongoloid. Nothing offensive about that, folks. It's just like I'm used to like when I see a lot of tall wrestlers, I call them like mongoloids because ever since I heard like what's it called? Was it the Fireflies? When I think was it Otis, he called the big dude that he fights in Three from Hell. He calls him like the mongoloid or some shit. So like I thought like oh that's a unique way to call giant people like giant wrestlers and fighters. But yeah, Kurgan, he eliminated Al Snow. So like, cause you could tell the tall wrestlers are fucking dominant. Like they get a lot of shit on, but they're fucking awesome. I like tall wrestlers. They just build like you. They're like demonic, dominant force to be reckoned with. Next entrant is Goldust, and Goldust is so underrated. He's the next entrant. He wants to do Shattered Dreams on Road Dogg, but Kurgan interrupted him. You guys know what that Shattered Dream move that Goldust does? He puts like the wrestlers on the corner of the ropes, puts their legs up on the side of them to have their crotch exposed, and then he goes like, and then he goes running and he paced and kicks him in the balls. Give him a low blow. But Goldust, he's a pretty cool wrestler. He's a pretty good underrated wrestler. Even as Dustin Rhodes, everybody knows he's Dusty Rhodes' son. He's Cody Rhodes' brother. But I feel like he worked the gimmick really well. It's a character that it will be offensive to everybody nowadays because you know how fucking PC and woke the culture is nowadays. Oh shit. They'll just give the low blow to Road Dogg. But Dustin Rhodes did a good job playing it really well where he made Goldust like this creepy character that went all gay and sexually towards the wrestlers, especially mind gaming them all sexually. He even got help with Savio Vega, like, hey, just do it with me. Like I'll play it with you. Like it's the storyline of you playing all gayish and sexually. It wouldn't bother me. It's like he was cool about it, but I'm not sure if he was cool with everybody was doing it as well because everybody seemed all freaked out by it. Even they were gonna do a storyline with him and Razor for at WrestleMania, but Razor got released from WWF around that time. Next entrant is the Godfather. Of course, he's known to have the hose as walking in with him in the entrance, and he's like a pimp. Godfather is known as Papa Chango and Kama, the fighting street fighter, and of course Kama and the Nation Domination. And then of course he would go on to be the Godfather, which is his infamous gimmick. I thought Godfather was pretty decent, but I kind of like Papa Chango more because I thought he kind of looked cool as a horror movie voodoo, like that because of course he's playing like a voodoo monster villain character, but it kind of feels like a horror movie character. Like I like Papa Shango, but yeah, like you got some pretty good wrestlers here, like Papa Shango. I mean Godfather, Goldust. Well, Goldust is criminally underrated, and Road Dogg and Kurgan, tall wrestler that's still kicking ass. Now the next entrant is The Undertaker's brother, Kane. Kane's one scary motherfucker when he had the mask. He looked pretty badass. Like he was nothing to be reckoned with. Like he was scary. He was like the Pazuzu of WWE and WWF. Boom. He eliminates Road Dogg, eliminates Kurgan. Kane's kicking ass, taking no names, and he eliminated the Godfather. He grabs Goldust and chokeslams him out of the ring. That's a badass moment by Kane. He would continue that in the 2001 Royal Rumble, but that was such a badass moment. But they really fucked us up with this moment. Like after that, like he's not even in this Rumble no more because he gets eliminated. He eliminates by himself because he attacks these orderly mental people, these orderly from the mental institution place. He chokeslams one of them up their asses. He's like, pew. Ah man, Kane eliminated himself so he could go after those damn orderly people from the mental institution. Gosh, I wanted Kane still in this match because he had that really badass moment eliminating those four wrestlers. That was so badass. Of course, this is when the Rumble kind of slows down because Kane is gone, like shit. But Kane's a great, awesome, dominant force horror movie villain. Pretty much Jim Cornette based him off Michael Myers. Because that's the reason why you get all that. The reason why that they do that sit-ups, why they go like they sit up after they get attacked. It's the same way how Michael Myers gets up. So like yeah, that's Kane's character is pretty much based off Michael Myers. But Kane would go on to be in a horror movie, which is badass, and it was WWE's movie See No Evil, and I think that was their best movie in my opinion, because I think their other movies, in my opinion, kind of suck, except like The Condemned, which I actually don't mind The Condemned, but all their movies suck. I would say The Condemned and See No Evil are the only good WWE movies, but See No Evil was a really good one. They made the movie. It was released by the studios that brought you Saw and Hostel. And it's a really gruesome movie where he tails people with giant hooks that he throws. And he picks people's eyes out with his dirty, sharp fingernails. Really good movie. Highly recommend See No Evil 2006 with anybody that wants to see that movie with Kane. Who hasn't seen that movie, definitely check out Kane being a horror movie villain. And it's a really bloody movie. Now Mr. McMahon came back. He's always on commentating, kicks like jacking like a jackass. The next entrance was Ken Shamrock waiting the entrance. And now the next entrance is Mr. Ass Billy Gunn. I'm an ass man. Dude, then I'm an ass man. Do 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 do. I love to touch him. I love to kiss him. Even though a lot of people thought that his theme song sucked, but I thought that was a cheesy, funny, awesome theme song. The theme song is kind of shitty a bit because he's just talking about ass. That's it. Because Mr. Ass is Billy Gunn. Of course, Billy Gunn. I remember seeing the whole pay-per-view on the Peacock, and I remember Billy Gunn got injured. He has like a sprained ankle, so that's why he doesn't have a boot on. Because his left ankle is like exposed with his. I mean, his feet is exposed because he doesn't have a boot on. Ken Shamrock, he's attacking the move. And Ken Shamrock's another wrestler that they kind of fucked over, and they didn't really utilize him well, like Steve Blackman and Dan the Beast Severn. And Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn are known to have really, really legit badass UFC matches in the 90s. Next entrant is Tess, and he's in the corporation with Ken Shamrock. And Tess is so underrated. I don't understand what was bad about him. He was super underrated. It's sad what happened to him. Rest in peace, Tess. Holy shit, they had been attacking this Mabel for this whole time. Like, he must have a lot of bruise from being attacked like this for a Lyra. It's been like 25 minutes since we saw them attacking Mabel. Like, holy shit. They're taking Mabel away in a hearse. Mr. McMahon's eyes are big, like, holy shit, it's Austin. He returned in an ambulance. Now the rattlesnake is pissed off. The rattlesnake is coming to kick some ass, take no names like a motherfucker. Ken Shamrock and Tess are like bitching at each other, like, I want to fight and throw Billy Gunn out, but Billy Gunn's like, he low blows both of them. That's pretty funny. Next entrant is Big Boss Man. And it's funny that he comes out, Stone Cold's like walking in the entrance and he's like coming, it's like he's coming out to Big Boss Man's theme song, which is pretty funny. Big Boss Man's another wrestler that's underrated. I like Big Boss Man. Rest in peace, Big Boss Man. And of course, Big Boss Man is part of the corporation. Big Boss Man is so underrated. I even liked when he was in the golden age era of WWE and the new, well, pretty much the golden age. Him and Mr. Perfect had a badass match at WrestleMania 7 for the IC title. It sucked. The match ended in I think a DQ or a count out. I really don't remember, but I remember the match being really badass and everybody, like, they were like popping and cheering for Bossman to win the match. I wish they would have had a rematch at SummerSlam. That would have been like a great payoff to, like, hey, the match ended in a DQ. Let's do the rematch and let's do it at SummerSlam. Of course, Austin is strangling the shit out of Bossman with a rope. That's not, they got that out of wrestling now. Strangulation because of the Benoit tragedy. Now the next entrance is Triple H, Nipple H. Fuck Triple H. I think he's overrated as fuck. But yeah, this is when Triple H was a babyface and he was with G Generation X. He's beating up Tess, and Billy Gunn's beating up Stone Cold, and now Big Boss is beating him up. Because everybody are going after Stone Cold because they put a bounty on him, because McMahon's a jackass, so he put a bounty hit on Stone Cold, like anybody will win $1 million if they eliminate Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, like the match is not picking up, but all in all, there's some pretty good talented wrestlers here. Like Big Bossman's underrated, Billy Gunn's underrated, Tess is underrated. Fuck Triple H, he's overrated. But the best wrestler here is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's a badass. Number 24, Val Venus. Of course, he's like the point star wrestler. And he also had the infamous Choppy Choppy of the Pee-Pee storyline with Kai and Tai. Which is the stupid storyline, but it was pretty funny. I did like that storyline. It was pretty funny as shit. He messes with Yamaguchi's son's wife, and then Yamaguchi's son puts like a threat on him, like, I'm gonna choppy your pee-pee, when he has like this big katana sword and he's like chopping a sausage. I choppy your pee-pee. choppy your pee-pee. Of course, they do it next week and they beat him up, and then they want to choppy his pee-pee. But John Wayne Bobbins, turns out he was the one that saved him from that happening.
There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way that someone is going to be $100,000.
Of course, Stone Cold eliminated badass Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass. But yeah, I do like the look of his Royal Rumble, even though I did put this in a list of my community posts, and it was, for a while, it was kind of getting voted a little bit more as a worst Royal Rumble, but it's like the least voted one. I would say I kind of like the '98 Rumble better, because I feel like, because the Rumble does kind of flow down when there's like a lot of dead air spots where there's one wrestler by himself, and it's like they do it 3 times in this match, which kind of gets tiresome. But you got some really good roster right here.
As the rattlesnake cornered, Austin's undergone a tremendous amount of punishment.
Of course, Val Venus is beating the shit out of Stone Cold. The next entrant was X-Pac, who was known as Six in WCW, and then also known as the 1-2-3 Kid that beat Razor Ramon and had the biggest upset victory. But yeah, X-Pac's pretty underrated too. Like, you got some really good talented wrestlers right here, except Triple H. Fuck Triple H. This is what I missed. Like, the crowd are into this motherfucking match. They're not bored. They're not being fucking dicks with the stupid chanting of what. Next number entrance is number 26, Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry. This is when he started having like the perverting gimmick where he's like, he's so he's addicted to sex and stuff, and he has like those sex therapy sessions. Why is he a sexual aroused guy? Of course, and I did see this Raw previous I seen the Raw episodes before this pay-per-view. There was this storyline that where was it Mark Henry was sexually aroused by China and he wanted to have sex with her and date her. He wanted to like go on a date and have sex with her afterwards, but she introduced him to her friend. Who was this character named Sammy. And then one day, Mark Henry got kicked in the nuts by one of the wrestlers, and then Sammy and China took Mark Henry to the back, and then China left to go get something, and then Sammy and Mark Henry are left by themselves, and they're about to like get it on, fuck each other, and pretty much having Sammy to fuck Mark Henry's brains out, but it turns out it was a guy. It was a trans guy. And Mark Henry had like the biggest shock reaction, like, holy shit, we got a penis. And of course she takes off her wig, it's a guy. Pretty much like teaching Mark Henry a lesson. Like, I'm not gonna have sex with you, Mark Henry. That's what China tells him. But that was like the previous Raw, that segment they had before this pay-per-view, because I got to see that Raw segment. Pretty, like, that shit would not fly nowadays, but holy shit, the Attitude Era got away with a lot of good shit. Crazy good shit. Back when it wasn't cancel culture, back when it wasn't woke and all that shit. But yeah, but Mark Henry's an underrated wrestler. I do like Mark Henry. But the next entrant was Slapnuts, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Fuck Jeff Jarrett. I always found Jeff Jarrett boring. Like, nothing was really good. It's like similar to Jack Swagger. He seems like a boring wrestler. Like, he just looks dull as shit. Of course, he's known to like use a guitar to hit people in the head with it. But to me, Honky Tonk Man's better than that shit. Fuck Slapnuts. I like Honky Tonk Man better. Next entrant is D'Lo Brown. Of course, he's accompanied by Terry Reynolds, which is Dustin Rhodes' former wife, who was known as Marlena, his valet, before he dumped Marlena in the storyline. But yeah, she's Dustin Rhodes' ex-wife, and she's accompanied by Jacqueline, who was another woman wrestler too, that fought guys too. But they accompanied with D'Lo Brown, and D'Lo Brown's an underrated wrestler. And I know I mentioned D'Lo Brown. That's that segment that he had with Draws where he broke his neck by accident. That really fucked up D'Lo Brown mentally and psychologically, because he was so heartbroken, and that he felt like he was dead inside when that accident happened. He highly apologized Jaws for what happened, but Jaws forgave him, and they still became friends. Sadly, Jaws passed away last year, which was so sad. Even kind of heartbroken D'Lo Brown when he heard about Jaws' passing. They were good friends. But D'Lo Brown's another wrestler that's underrated. Like, he has like this really big flips that he does, like jumping flips, and it's also cool the way he moves his head like this, like when he comes into the entrance, like the way he's like moving his head, it looks pretty cool. But all in all, D'Lo Brown's a pretty good wrestler, very underrated. Tess got eliminated by Austin a moment ago, and then Austin's kicking Slapnuts' ass. Triple H, throw it out, Jeff. Stop nuts. Next entrant is Owen Hart, and we have rest in peace, Owen Hart. That would be his last Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Because we know what happened at Over the Edge, 1999. Yep. I really think Owen Hart is super underrated. I think Owen Hart kicked ass in the ring, and I think he delivered really good classic matches with his brother Bet in those brother versus brother storyline, especially the steel cage match at SummerSlam 1995 was really cool. Or not 90, no 94. It was 1994 that Brett and Owen had that really badass steel cage match with had a lot of emotion in that match and crazy shit at the end. Where Owen and Anvil Neidhart, Jim Anvil Neidhart, beat the shit out of the Hart family and Bret Hart. Like that was some emotion shit right there. Shows you that Owen kicked ass like a heel. Even his promos were pretty good. Yeah, those are really good wrestlers right there. Like, I miss this shit, man. Number 30. Number 30 is the ninth wonder of the world, China. Rest in peace, China. A lot of these wrestlers that are coming in, they have passed away now. China, she may have not been the best wrestler, but I think China was one badass fucking woman wrestler, in my opinion. And to me, fuck the women wrestling nowadays. They're not good. Like, a lot of these women wrestlers nowadays, they're not good as the ones that used to kick the ass in the ring. Like China, Lita, Trish Stratus, Alundra Blaze, Luna Cotto, Luna Vachon, and also, I think Sherry did wrestle too, and also Ivory, she wrestled pretty good too. But yeah, but yeah, right now, China just eliminated Mark Henry, and then when she was like still looking at Mark Henry, she turned around. Stone Cold clotheslined her out of the ring and eliminated China. And of course, Michael Cole says it doesn't get China, like China got eliminated. Stone Cold says it doesn't give a damn. He doesn't give a damn if you're a man or a woman. And you can see China's like all pissed off, look like she's all pissed off, like. That was a good reaction by China. But that was a historic moment where China was the first woman wrestler that wrestled in a Royal Rumble match, because no women did that. She was the first woman Royal Rumble entrant member. Because of course they would do that with a lot of other women wrestlers like Beth Phoenix and Awesome Kong and other women wrestlers too. But yeah. But China did it historically, and it sucks that she never got into the Hall of Fame, except like only being part of DX. She's in the Hall of Fame for that, but the only reason that she's not in the Hall of Fame is because she did fucking porn. That was it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you let fucking Jimmy Snuka, who got away with fucking murder, and you let that piece of shit get into the Hall of Fame. But you're not gonna let China, who only just did fucking porn, that was it, not to be in the Hall of Fame. That's bullshit. That's when I lost my respect about WWE's Hall of Fame. When, like, seriously, that's the reason they didn't want China, is because she did fucking porn. That was it. That was nothing horrible to be excused about. That's just a stupid ass excuse to not have her in. Like, that's bullshit. She should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. She should have been in the Hall of Fame with Eddie Guerrero. Like, fuck. She should have been in the 2006 Hall of Fame. Because, you know, in China and Eddie Guerrero, they had that awesome storyline where Eddie Guerrero was Latino heat and he called China his mamacita. So that was a really good storyline. But yeah, it's bullshit that they didn't put her in the Hall of Fame right away. Around that time that Eddie got not like in the Hall of Fame, they should have put China in that Hall of Fame. But yeah, I like China. Definitely missed her, and yeah, a lot of wrestlers that have appeared in this match have passed on. Dross passed away. Golga, known as Earthquake, passed away. Viscera, known as Big Daddy V, he passed away. Paul Bearer, who appeared with The Undertaker in the entrance, he passed away. Big Bossman, who's like still in this match, he's like one of the final four. Bossman has passed away. Owen Hart passed away. Tess passed away. It's very sad that a lot of these good wrestlers are gone. They're badass motherfuckers, in my opinion. I miss these badass wrestlers that kicked ass, take no names. But yeah, the final four is Stone Cold, Owen Hart, Big Bossman, and D'Lo Brown. Those are four great wrestlers, and now Owen Hart got eliminated by Stone Cold. He got tossed over. What a kick by Bossman. Big ol' slap by Bossman. Going under the ropes. D'Lo Brown. Oh shit, I like that. That's the thing he did, the frog splash. He goes like, boom. That was a really sick frog splash by D'Lo Brown. Bossman threw out D'Lo Brown, and now Stone Cold threw out Big Bossman. Now it's just Austin and McMahon 1-on-1. What are you gonna do? I like how Jerry Lawler is such a kiss ass to McMahon, which is funny. I miss when they used to make the kid commentators pretty funny and pretty relevant, like being a heel and being a good guy commentator, babyface commentator. Stone Cold's taking no more shit and beating the crap out of McMahon from the commentating booth. Stone Cold's kicking McMahon's ass. He's totally kicking McMahon's ass. Now he has a steel chair. He gives him a steel chair shot to the head. CTE, concussion. Fuck. They used to do that. The chair shots they had, they got away with that. They didn't realize that shit cost CTE. And also, that's also part of the Benoit tragedy. That's the reason why they also banned chair shots to the head. Because the chair shots to the head, they would get like the bottom piece of the chair shot, and they would go like straight forward, like it would hit them in the head. There were some wrestlers that did kind of protect themselves from the chair shots, like they would have their hand up and then they would go like, but their hand would get hit. But there were ones that they took big chair shots where they took big force, like. Yeah. The ones that took really vicious shots was like Umaga, Kane, A-Train, even Big Show, Boss Mahoney, who appeared in WWE when it was their shitty ECW. He got that big chair shot to the head by John Cena on Raw. Even Chris Canyon got that big ass chair shot to the head by Undertaker. Like, damn. Even that chair shot to Eddie Guerrero by JBL on Judgment Day when he got busted open. Those stuff were really vicious chair shots. Like, they were violent fucking spots in wrestling. Even in this Royal Rumble pay-per-view, The Rock and Mankind had that I Quit match that was really brutal, very violent. The violent part was when he got to the chair shot where he started hitting Mankind with the chair shot and telling him quit, say I quit, and he kept like fucking him up with the chair shots to the head, very viciously and very hardcore violent. And now there's The Rock. He wants to distract Stone Cold, and he's holding the WWF title. He's taunting Austin. He's taunting Austin. Austin is getting distracted by Rock, and he's telling him, get your ass in here, Rock. McMahon eliminates Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he wins the 1999 Royal Rumble as number 2. And this would also debut his theme song, Here's No Chance in Hell, which is the Royal Rumble 1999 theme song. Which that does debut his theme song. And Stone Cold's like pissed off, like, you son of a bitch. And now he's like, no, I'm getting you, you motherfucking Rock. And he's like punching him, like kicking ass, taking no names like a motherfucker at the entrance. He's like kicking the Rock's ass at the entrance. No chance in hell. But yeah, this one is considered one of the worst Royal Rumbles. Not exactly, but I could see why people don't like this Rumble match, because a lot of wrestlers get eliminated, and it's always like dead air spots where one wrestler's in the ring by themselves 3 times. That happens in the match. But even though like McMahon would lose his victory after this, because the victory would be given to Stone Cold at St. Valentine Massacre in the Steel Cage match with Stone Cold and McMahon having. Because Stone Cold would victory in that match. But this would have this would debut McMahon's theme song. But it sucks what's going on with Vince McMahon nowadays. Like he's like fucking Jeffrey Epstein and R. Kelly and those sick motherfuckers that are involved in sex trafficking. He totally got himself fucked over. Even John Laurinaitis is involved in the lawsuit too. You're going to WrestleMania. No chance. Such a SEO guy. Over chance on the CT song. Pretty politician. It's a badass song, gotta admit. I like the song. No chance, no chance in hell. What you got? No chance. No chance in hell. They're sharing beer like Stone Cold with the Stooges, Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe and his son Shane McMahon. Mr. McMahon sharing the beer. But yeah, this match, it did have a lot of good wrestlers, but I can understand why nobody doesn't like this match, because it is an overbooked match. A lot of wrestlers get eliminated too early, and it's always dead air in 3 spots, which kind of kills the Rumble match a bit. And everybody did hate Mr. McMahon winning the Rumble, which angered a lot of WWF fans. it legit angered a lot of WWF fans because they hate this shit happening because they really hated the McMahon character because McMahon played the villain Mr. McMahon role really villainous. I mean, my mistake, really villainous, where he's like one evil son of a bitch. No chance in hell. Well, yeah. That's my review, folks. I'm not review, but my reaction of the 1999 War Rumble, which everybody thinks it was one of the worst Royal Rumbles. I've seen worse, but I can see why people think the match sucks. Because yeah, it is an overbooked Rumble match, and McMahon winning angered a lot of wrestling fans. It angered them a lot. But still went with victory. Have that victory win against McMahon at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view, kicking Vince's ass in a steel cage match, which involved Big Show debuting. But all in all, it does have a lot. That time WWF had a lot of stacked rosters, and yeah, there were some really good wrestlers, especially Steve motherfucking Blackman, who was a really badass martial art wrestler. Even though a lot of people they present him like, oh, he's boring, but he is a legit badass. He can kick ass in martial art fighting. But all in all, have a good day, everybody. Hit the like, subscribe, and take care, folks. That's my reaction of the 1999 WWF War Rumble match. Have a good day, everybody. Bye bye.